morning. Thank you for joining me, Coach Mike, on your Monday morning. When it really gets down to business, our job is to create a business that works for us. And the only way to do that is first to get a team, an empowered team that takes pride in representing your brand. And the second is to find raving fan clients that you're passionate about working with. Because when you're working with people that you enjoy and you like, you create win-wins day in and day out. And when you have clients that you love working with, you have more fun, you're more gratified, and most importantly, your business will become more profitable. Now follow me because today's lesson is going to be very valuable. Several weeks ago, one of my coaches shared with me on our call on a Monday morning, she said, you know, Michael, I was thinking about you all weekend. You have the Dill Factor. And at first I heard it, I thought it was a little funny. She goes, no, your clients are very fortunate that you bring the Dill Factor to the equation. I said, well, my wife might disagree. We've been married for 32 years, and sometimes she says the Dill Factor doesn't necessarily work for her. However, we began to dig into this Dill Factor thing, and it was really amazing what it brought up. First, what we came up with was D, obviously, the first letter of my last name. And D is for deliberate. And deliberate in me, the coach, being who I need to be, to go where I need to go, to get my clients to see what they need to see, to make the shifts they need to make, to take the action they need to take, to essentially get what they want in their business and their life. I, investigative. I will lift up every stone to find out what makes my client tick. L is for leverage, leveraging every potential opportunity to grow my clients' business and themselves. And the final L is for lucrative. Once my clients apply the Dill Factor, it will become very lucrative for both them and their business. And I will share, when we went through this process, it brought me a lot of confidence and clarity of how I show up for my clients and the results they get working with me. Now the next step, she asked me a question. She goes, so Michael, what type of clients qualify for the Dill Factor? And when I thought about it, actually the answer was pretty easy. All I had to do was list the character traits of my current client base that I enjoyed working with, and that will pretty much describe exactly who I want to work with. So line by line, I listed all my clients and all their traits that refer to them. And from that point, once we have finished with that process, we took all those character traits and listed them, and which in the end came to be my ideal client checklist. Now I'm going to take this one step further. Now, 4 weeks ago, I was having a conversation with a potential client. This was our third conversation. And I simply told him, his name was Leo, I said, Leo, I'm convinced that you check off all the boxes as an ideal client, of somebody I work with that will both be very successful working together. And I said, would it be okay if I shared that list and see if we check them off all together? We went through the list line by line, and Leo was able to check all the boxes. And I simply asked him, I said, Leo, do you now see why I'm so convinced why we should be working together and why I believe we'll both be successful working together? The answer was yes, and Leo and I have been working together for about a month now, already making fine improvements and doing great things with his organization, which makes me very excited. So this entire process that started with almost what I thought was a joke with the Dill Factor began to filter down with all these exercises I did to get really clear on exactly who I like to work with, because when you get clear on who you're working with, you'll be in the zone and you'll be having fun. And I always share, when you're having fun, you're in the zone, and when you're in the zone, you're cashing checks, baby. And business is all about cashing checks, and you could only be doing that if you're working with the right people. Now there's one more step to this whole process. And after this video, there's going to be another video I'm going to ask you to click on it and watch. and it's going to have a few of those character traits of an ideal client. And if, as you watch this, if you feel you could check off all those boxes, perhaps you and I should be having a conversation. But I want to thank you for joining me, Coach Michael, on your Monday morning. I hope this has been valuable. Take the time to go through this process yourself and need some help. Feel free to reach out to me. I'll help you with it. But I will guarantee you, you go through this process, it'll be very valuable to you, your clients, and the profitability of your company. Be well, have a productive and profitable week, and I will see you next Monday. Thank you.